Go ahead and greet the camera. A young man shoots his girlfriend in the head. A woman is assaulted by her husband's graveyard and robbed. A teenager has her shoes stolen by a friend, and a student cheats on a test. What do these scenarios demand? They demand that justice be served. Today, I will tell you about a specific type of justice called restorative justice. First, I will tell you about opportunities for restorative justice to work. Then I will tell you exactly what restorative justice is, and finally I will show you some of its successes. There are many ways that restorative justice can be used. However, today I will be focusing mainly on school systems and acts of crime. Our nation's schools suffer from very high suspension rates. And Stacy Catterow in the Christian Science Monitor reports that in Oakland, California, they have rates of 7% suspensions. And they also have African Americans composing 32% of the student body population, as well as 63% of the suspension rates. But schools are not the only place for restorative justice. In a New York Times article by Paul Tullis, he tells us the story of Connor McBride and Ann Grossmeyer. Connor and Ann have been dating for 3 years and were involved in an extended fight that lasted for several days, but ended with Connor shooting Ann in the head. Several hours after the incident, Connor ended up turning himself into the police. So what is restorative justice, and what does it have to do with school suspensions and murder? Howard Zier is considered the founding father of the restorative justice movement and has written several books, all considered classics, in this field. In his book, The Little Book of Restorative Justice, he defines restorative justice as a process to involve, to the extent possible, those who have a stake in a specific offense and to collectively identify and address harms, needs, and obligations in order to heal and to put things as right as possible. Restorative justice is a victim-oriented program. It seeks to fully understand the harm suffered by the victim, the offender, and the community, but it still requires deliberate and reparative action. Anyone directly impacted by the offense may start the program, however, it does require willful and voluntary participation. Usually these programs involve meetings between the offender and the victim and anyone directly impacted by the offense. All are allowed to speak and be heard, and the offender must accept responsibility on some level for their actions. These meetings opens dialogue for the offender to fully understand the consequences of their actions. Zier says that this journey to heal belongs to the victims. No one else can do it for them, but an effort to put to right can assist in this process. These meetings must end in consensus as to what reparative actions are necessary. The community then steps in to help heal the victim and to help the offender change their behavior. In other words, restorative justice creates a safe place for mutual understanding and restitution without absolving the offender. So let me show you how this has been successful. Stacy Catterow reports that in 1 year's time after implementing a restorative justice program, a school in Oakland, California has dropped their suspension rate by 51% and eliminated African American disproportionate discipline. Teachers were encouraged to not simply throw away their students by suspending them, but to actively engage them. And classes were held for students to learn self-discipline, self-respect, and socially acceptable behaviors such as a firm handshake. Paul Tullis continues the story of the McBrides and the Grossmeyers by telling us how they gathered in a restorative justice conference where Connor fully accepted his role in harming Ann and her parents. For the first time, the Grossmeyers were able to hear exactly what happened to their daughter. they were able to express forgiveness to Connor as well as their desire for restitution. I have shown you how restorative justice demands engaged participants, a respectful environment, and healing actions. Restorative justice removes the focus from retribution to putting things right again. Things were put right in the Oakland school system and for the Grossmeyers and McBrides. Let me leave you with a final quote so that you may learn how you can put restorative justice in your everyday. Howard Zier says, "Engage in dialogue with others. Even when what is being said is difficult, remaining open to learning from them and the encounter. Listen deeply and compassionately to others, seeking to understand, even if you don't agree."
Very good.